What is up, guys? Breakfast with Bobby episode. I still am lazy and have not counted yet. And I'm going to be honest, I probably have to count before we started every single video if I was honestly going to keep up. Which makes it sound like a lot more impressive than it actually is. It's not like there's that many episodes. My brain just doesn't deem that important information. And unfortunately, I have to address my brain like a separate party because while being a functioning adult, I don't deem what my brain deems to be important. It's kind of vice versa. It's annoying, but hey. Undiagnosed things for the win. However, guys, let's have a conversation on a couple different things. One, I want to talk about my off season and what that entails. Waddling. It entails waddling right now because I squatted yesterday and it feels like I haven't squatted before, and that's not a great feeling. So, last time I ever take like a full week off. Probably never going to be a thing again. However, I needed it. So, off season, easy building, keeping some things fresh, hoping for the Arnold invite to come through. Don't want to say I'm expecting it because I don't want to make it sound like I'm counting my chickens before they hatch. But we are looking to bring a healthier, slightly older version of Bobby back into things. It also means I get a chance to explore some stuff. So, right away, I've actually had these sitting around for a while. These are the TYR or Tier deadlift shoe. So I've had these sitting around in box for a while. They're a drop zero shoe. I will be kind of messing around with these. They are not traditionally the shape of a shoe I'd want to wear consistently, but I am interested in trying them for my deadlift. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be testing these out. I like the way they look. They're my favorite colors. So that really kind of helps. So boom, we're going to give these a shot here in the off season, see how we like them, see what long-term effects on the foot are. Still keeping the drop zero. I've got a really wide toe base, and the toe box on this is a little bit wider, but not quite as wide as I would normally like. But I think this could be, I don't know, something in my head tells me that the squeeze could be beneficial for kind of activating things further up the chain. So we're going to give it a shot and see how it goes. Boom. And right now, before anyone asks, what's your next contest? Guys, I don't know. The invites haven't come out yet. I didn't do myself any favors at the last show. I've got a good track record with the Arnold, so I just kind of have to hope that one's going to come through. But let's talk about some non-strongman stuff. Let's talk about salt. So my recent trip to the UK, once again, it's always kind of like a gentle reminder of how much our country's government doesn't love us based on the food they've been giving us for so long, and that's kind of a hard shot. But when I go to drink a soda over there, because I know it's not going to hurt me, and that soda only has like 15 grams of sugar in it. Oh, okay, yeah, that's not that bad. But one of the things I did start looking into right when actually I got back was the amount of salt that was in foods. Because ooh, that egg came out weird. Why is it always these days the eggs come out weird? Like, it's not bad. This is bad. I don't know. Alright, well, that egg just came out weird. Damn it. Alright, well, 6 out of 7 came out right. Can't complain. But anyways, back to it. So salt. This is a standard serving of ground chicken for myself. It is a 16-ounce portion, 8% fat, 1 pound for the Americans. 160 calories per serving. There's 125 milligrams of sodium per serving and 22 grams of protein per serving. Each container has 4 servings. So you're looking at 500 milligrams of sodium in this entire thing. Right? Give or take some air, and then not including the spices that you may put on. But I'm not worried about the salt you're adding. I'm worried about the salt that already exists. Boom. Here we go. So remember that. 500 milligrams of sodium and 88 grams of protein. If we jump over to something, chicken meatballs by Amy Lou, cranberry jalapeno, chicken raised with no antibiotics, no nitrates added, gluten-free, pork-free, 14 grams of protein, 160 calories. We flip this one over and we have a look. There's 15 servings. That's 4 meatballs a serving. 4 meatballs is going to be 14 grams of protein with 580 grams of milligrams of sodium per serving at 14 grams of protein. So to get the equivalent you're going to need to eat how many servings, get 88 grams of protein, so 14, however you want. So you're looking at 5 or 6 servings here, and you're up into the multi-thousand servings of sodium, which again, depending on who it is, necessary. Some people not, some necessary. Just depends on your given situation. But this is really well packaged. Like, I would, if somebody showed this to me, I would generally believe that, okay, that person's trying to make a health conscious choice. But if we compare, and I'm not saying my Purdue organic chicken is straight from the farm either, guys. What I am saying is that these are the options, and these are the variants in the options, and the mistakes that people are making and going, oh, this is chicken, this looks good, it's already seasoned, good to go. No, that's not what you want. Now, it's also a rough road, because I'm sure those things are actually probably almost delicious if you're accustomed to what is in food nowadays, which I'm kind of not. If you look at the food, my carrots are even whole carrots. Like, I'm not saying I'm buying organic or going straight to the farm, but as far as the fake food goes, I stay on the closer side of real. Real in limited sugar intake. So with that, all of you out there that are legitimately trying to better their dietary situations, you need to realize that your concepts of what is advertised as healthy and then what is actually healthy are not the same thing. So, that being said, and I just, it's really great when nothing goes right when you're doing a YouTube video, but hey, cool, we got it. Oh man, do I have enough sourdough? Crap. Oh, crap. Maybe. Oh, we might be short on sourdough. Oh no, the world is coming to an end. I usually keep like an extra loaf spare. Oh shit. Alright folks, gotta pivot. We're going sourdough and Eggos. Don't ask me how it's gonna go. We're gonna figure it out as we go. But no, so that's one of the common mistakes I see people making when they try and clean up their diet. They try and source more effective protein sources, and they don't pay attention to where that protein source is actually coming from, and how many stops it's making along the way, and all the grams of sodium it's picking up along the way. Now, again, sodium and salt, not quite the same thing, very close. I know, just hear me out. Look at that a little bit deeper before you go, sodium is salt. Well, yes and no. It is, definitely, but it's not the same as salt. Or like iodized table salt. So the sodium in your food, at least, because the kind of sodium does in fact matter. However, I digress. Let's go back. A lot of people think they're making the smart decision when they're not. And all that salt, especially if you're not actually utilizing it or your body's not doing something with it, me personally, it binds up my insides, it leads to constipation. It actually keeps me from consuming. It's more filling, okay, which keeps me from consuming other nutrients such as protein that I may need to consume more of the protein source to get more of clearly. But if it's being bogged down by oversatiating salt, which at a certain point you don't realize is oversatiating because that's how the psychology of food works. You grow more accustomed to something the more often you eat it. And then all that salt and such causes a nice little dopamine release. So, and there's other things in there that cause dopamine release as well, but the salt's part of it. So, not and understanding and learning and rewiring yourself to enjoy food that doesn't come pre-slammed with salt, that you're slamming a shit ton of salt on, is really kind of it's a hard thing, but it's a skillful thing, and it's a necessary wake up. And like I just said, you're not going to eat 4 of those, or most people that are in the situation to where they're going, I'm trying to eat better and do that. Whoa! Egg pop. Somebody please clip that in slow-mo. Clip that in slow-mo and meme that, please. I'm totally okay with it. But if somebody can do that, that would be amazing. Let's help Bobby Thompson go viral so he doesn't have to get a real job. No. But, going back to it, that's just one of the common mistakes I see, and it's one of the downfalls of the way food is packaged nowadays. You have to read the back. And understanding that what tastes good is what you're used to. What you're not used to may not taste as good or may lack what you call flavor. Which I know, right? The Caucasian guy saying something lacks flavor is always entertaining, right? But no, it's true. If you're eating all those salt-ridden foods, it kind of numbs your taste buds. And then you need a more extreme sweet to counterbalance, which you run to sugar for. It's this real nasty train wreck, and unfortunately it comes down to different food companies not being accountable for how healthy their marketing actually looks via the containers versus the food they're putting in. I believe in merit. I really like living in this country, but I will say I genuinely believe the UK, to include Scotland, they do have something figured out in terms of like restrictions of things that they can put in the food versus not. I know that's kind of like a big government thing. I'm really not interested in their political concern. I'm just saying they've got some stuff figured out and we should pay attention. So hopefully that lands. We're gonna try. I'm gonna season my toast with, I don't know, Kinder's Faja blend. It's like a citrus garlic. I'm gonna toss some salt in there. We'll see how that should be interesting. We'll see how it goes for my egg sandwiches. The Eggos, guys, I'm just gonna slam some Eggos in the toaster, and that's gonna be what it's gonna be. So yeah, we talked about salt. The other thing I want to discuss. Let's talk about what athletes are. You know, it's intriguing in strength sports. Fans have this reach to athletes. It's very personal. I'm not speaking for bodybuilding because I have very, very limited insight into that sport. And I have some insight into powerlifting via experience, being a fan, not so much an elite lifter in that sport. And then strongman, I've got multiple fields of experience. But for the most part, fans have an incredible amount of access. And I really, you know, it's a hard thing to say when you see one of us make a mistake, or several mistakes, or they portray themselves to be something that you find out maybe they're not. And it's a difficult thing not to sum all of us up into one group. And I, for one, am usually somebody who tries to not publicly judge anyone. I develop my own opinions, and I just act on my opinions, and I do what I need to do to take care of myself. But I can tell you that to judge a group of individuals based on the public actions of one is always going to be a mistake. And then also asking an employer to step in and take corrective measures. By the way, contest promoters, they're our employers. They employ us to do a job. Asking employers to step in, the only real way that they can do that is if they put something in our contract that says, please don't do this. If you do this, you are subject to X, which I think is always more than appropriate. But just flat out saying that people shouldn't get invited to shows because of mistakes, or maybe not mistakes, personal life actions they've made that people deem to be a mistake that they don't, however you want to word that. There's like one of two things that I won't mention on here because I'm pretty sure they'll get me shut down on YouTube that somebody would have to partake in for me to get behind that wagon. Partially because they're an athlete. That's what you watch them for. I understand you get close to people, but I encourage you, just be careful who you sink your emotional ties into like that. That doesn't mean you can't support them as an athlete. Doesn't mean you can't support the brand. But I've seen that throughout the years where people will sink so much into one of us, not to be a fan, but you pedestal the person, and one, you forget they can make mistakes, or two, it knocks you off track entirely because you've forgotten they are going to do bad things because they are people. I am not saying anything done recently is okay. I'm not speaking for it. I'm not speaking against it. I'm speaking on behalf of the guys that are still here and that still love all of you guys. But I'm also standing here as a normal dude saying, hey, maybe we need to be careful how we examine the entirety of this situation. Hold everyone to the same standard. Stand 10 toes down on your morals. Stand firm. I'm not asking you to bend. I'm only saying maybe take a wider view at what it would actually be if somebody could, as an employer, outside of contract, could say, this is why I'm not bringing you back. If potentially on merit outside of this, you deserve it. Be careful, guys. Anyways, signing off. Bobby here. Go eat. You're getting skinny. Eggs are done. Toast is out. I've got to weigh out my Greek yogurt and figure out my waffles. And yeah, thanks for joining with Breakfast with Bobby.